representatives to National Digital Innovative Council. These newly elected members of the Startups Consultative
Odumodu Black's industry machine tops Apple Music in Nigeria. Africa Magic unveils 7 original shows for October rollout. Now the news.
The Apex Banks has recently stated that 14 banks have already met the new minimum capital base for functions.
The elective of 4 representatives to serve on the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship for the next 2
One
years.
last day. It further stated that they truly deserve the Big Brother Nigeria crown, not the second position. Adding the performance
137,000 new people. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting
Yes, a very wonderful Wednesday morning to you, and thank you for always joining us on the Good Morning News in XRTV. I am Dorcas Atashegwe. First, let's take a look at our headlines that make up our major story. Reps to mediate in Pengasin Dangote refinery dispute. Senate mulls fresh salary package for members of armed forces. And on our entertainment news, Regina Daniels' brother denies drug abuse allegations. Iyabo Ojo welcomes Priscilla, grandson, and Juma to Lagos in grand style. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nominated Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro as a new minister for Plateau State. The development followed the appointment of the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nentawe Goshwe, chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC). Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, who announced this in a statement on Tuesday, said the nomination is, however, subject to confirmation by the upper legislative chamber, the Senate. According to Onanuga, the president has already sent the details of the appointee to the Senate for confirmation. Onanuga said the appointee has over 20 years of multidisciplinary experience in clinical practice, pharmaceutical management, strategic leadership, and community engagement in the UK and Nigeria. The House of Representatives on Tuesday resolved to intervene in the recent face-off between members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and the Dangote Refinery, which has disrupted petroleum products distribution nationwide. The resolution of the House followed the consideration and adoption of a motion of urgent public importance co-sponsored by Kano and Sokoto lawmakers Al-Hassan Doguwa and Abdul Samad Dasuki, respectively, at Tuesday's plenary, titled Needs to Protect Private Investment from Adversary Unionism. The lawmakers drew the attention of their colleagues to the significance of the Dangote refinery, describing it as the largest private petroleum refinery in Africa. The face-off between Pengasin and the Dangote refinery led to an industrial action which commenced on September 29, 2025, disrupting the operation of the $20 billion refinery. Speaking on the motion, Doguwa, who represents Doguwa Tudan Wada Federal Constituency, Kano State, stressed the need to protect the Dangote refinery, given its strategic significance to the nation's economy. Following the adoption of the motion, the House urged its leadership to broker peace between the two parties in the interest of the nation. It also urged the Federal Ministries of Labor and Employment, Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as Justice to jointly develop and implement a national framework or set of policies to safeguard private investment of strategic national importance from adversary and unlawful union actions. Barring last-minute amendments of its order paper, the Senate will on Wednesday debate on a motion which seeks to review and substantially increase the minimum wage and overall salary structure of the Nigerian Armed Forces in line with current economic realities. The motion, titled Urgent Needs to Increase the Minimum Wage and Improve Conditions of Service for Members of the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies, is to be presented by former Senate Majority Leader Ali Ndum. The lawmaker, in his motion, observed that the current remuneration and minimum entry-level wage for many personnel across those services have been outpaced by rising living costs, with knock-off effects on morale, recruitment, retention, and operational effectiveness, particularly for personnel deployed in high-risk theaters and remote locations. The senator noted that the current minimum monthly wage for junior personnel in the armed forces ranges between 50,000 naira and 60,000 naira, depending on rank. It is grossly inadequate in light of the current economic realities, inflationary pressures, and rising cost of living in Nigeria. The lawmaker maintained the poor remuneration affects morale, recruitment, and retention rates and exposes personnel to economic hardship, thereby indirectly undermining operational efficiency and national security. A teenager, Joy Oga, symbolically took over the seat of the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, for a day, using the platform to advocate passionately for the rights and education of girls across Nigeria. In a statement issued by the Office of the Vice President on Tuesday, the symbolic handover took place during a meeting on Monday between Vice President Shettima and a delegation from PLAN International, led by Ellen Mfonobong Idion, Director of Program Quality and Innovation. From the Vice President's chair, Oga highlighted the challenges facing girls in the country, noting that over 10.5 million of children remain out of school, more than 60% of whom are girls. Oga also urged the government to provide free sanitary products in schools and ensure access to clean water, sanitation, and proper nutrition for all children. She stressed that every girl deserves a classroom, a choice, a dignity, and not silence. Shettima also used the occasion to reaffirm President Bola Tinubu's commitment to advancing girl child education and inclusive learning nationwide. And over to our entertainment desk. Regina Daniels' brother, Lawrence Daniels, known on Instagram as Sweezy One, has spoken out amid the ongoing controversy surrounding his sister's marriage and allegation of drug abuse. In a post shared on his Instagram page, Lawrence wrote, "No marriage without problems, but remember, I decided not to speak. There's no perfect couple. Regina Daniels is not affiliated in any drug abuse or misuse." His comment comes as people on social media continue to talk about the actress's marriage to billionaire politician Ned Nwoko. The post quickly drew attention online, with many people reacting to his show of support. The post has since sparked mixed reactions online, with some applauding him for defending his sister, while others speculate about the state of Regina's marriage. As of the time of this report, Regina Daniels has not publicly addressed the claims. However, her brother's post seemed to be an attempt to protect her image and calm the ongoing speculation surrounding her marriage and personal life. Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo has hosted a grand celebration in Lagos to welcome her daughter Priscilla, her son-in-law Juma Jokes, and their baby boy Rakim to Nigeria. In a video posted on Instagram on October 21st, 2025, the proud grandmother showed the moment the Nkambalas walked into the surprise gathering at her home, where friends and family were waiting to welcome them. The happy moment filled with hugs, laughter, and cheers from loved ones had melted out across social media. And lastly, on entertainment news, former United States Vice President Kamala Harris has announced that she will be in a conversation with Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie at the London Literature Festival on Thursday as part of her ongoing 107 days book tour. In a post on X on Tuesday, Harris wrote that she anticipates a conversation with the Nigerian author. In an earlier statement on the book official website, Harris said writing 107 days felt like living the campaign in reverse, rewinding each moment and experiencing it all over again. She described the book as a candid and personal account of her journey, the shortest presidential campaign in modern history. Harris' book reflects on a brief but intense presidential campaign, offering readers an insider view of the challenges, lessons, and emotions behind the scenes. As part of her ongoing tour, the vice president has already appeared in several US cities alongside notable figures. The 107 days conversation with Chimamanda Adichie is scheduled for Thursday, October 23rd at the London Literature Festival in partnership with Foyles. And that's all on our entertainment news. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, it will be over to our business text. Just stay tuned.
Where every day feels like a vacation, your personal sanctuary, where life happens. Experience true comforts with SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Asaba. Welcome to SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. The upgrade you deserve, where life happens. Elevate your every day with SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Asaba. The perfect blend of style and comfort, modern interiors, fully furnished unique apartments, ultimate comfort, 247 security. Your peace of mind is assured with our security, CCTV surveillance, high-speed Wi-Fi, fully equipped kitchen, smart TV, air conditioning, cars to take you around town, and lots more. And guess what? Are you a filmmaker? Are you in Asaba and its environs? Are you planning to shoot in Asaba? Come to SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment with your ideas and go home with a movie. We have the state-of-the-art equipment. We have different types of cameras. We also have some of the cast and crew to actually deliver you a project. We have editing facilities for you. We also have our captivating equipped studio for content creators and producers.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this lovely Wednesday morning. This is the Business Desk on SRTV. I am Gloria Eko. Let's take a look at the headlines. Fish farming should be source of employment in Ogoni land. IRAD decries alleged unpaid debts by Owando. Federal government spent 35.26% on 2024 budget on debt services. The news in details. An environmental expert, Dr. Pondi Tangod, has urged the people of Ogoni land to ensure that fish farming becomes their source of employment, noting that they cannot ensure food security without environmental justice, equitable investment, and sustainable development in the area. Tangod made the call in a goodwill message to Ogoni people to commemorate the 2025 World Food Day in Bori River State, said, "Our survival as a people depends on our willingness to return to the soil not as peasants, but as proud cultivators of the future." He urged the citizens to reflect in the pressing issues of hunger, sustainability, and the right of every human being to have access to safe, nutritious food, and focus on this as well as work together hand in hand without leaving anyone behind if they must grow as a people economically. On this year's theme, Hand in Hand for a Better Food and Better Future, he stressed that it is a timely reminder of the sacred connection between national resources, food systems, and human dignity, regretting that Ogoni has suffered environmental degradation, oil spills, and neglect over the years. Let us revive the culture of farming, not just as a tradition, but as a tool of economic liberation. Youths, women, and elders plant something, whether it is cassava, maize, vegetables, or even trees. Every seed planted is an act of resistance against hunger and poverty. According to Thank God, we must move from a culture of dependency to one of productivity. Our communities must attract and build agro-based investments that can transform raw produce into consumable and exportable goods. He, however, called out the government to encourage local entrepreneurship, cooperative farming systems, and access to credit for rural farmers, and they must see agriculture not as charity, but as a profitable, scalable, and dignified industry. Farming alone is not enough. We must think beyond the farm and into the factory. In Ogoni land, cassava can turn into flour in our own processing plants, where palm fruit becomes oil packaged for the global markets, where fish farming becomes a source of both nutrition and employment. He further explained that true food security comes when the entire value chain is controlled from the soil to the shelf. A region that is green again, where polluted lands are restored and used for mechanized farming. A nation where young graduates become agripreneurs, leading technological innovations in food production. A Nigeria that exports food, not its people, not excuses, and builds not just promises, he concluded. Irad Investment Limited, an indigenous company, has decried the alleged delay in payments after satisfactorily executing projects and contracts for Owando plc. In a statement signed by its director, Levi Gulubo, and made available to newsmails, Irad said the issue has resulted in significant financial strains and disrupted financial stability. The firm, while stating that Owando has failed to meet its payment obligations despite repeated requests and efforts to negotiate, disclosed that it secured loans from banks to execute jobs into billions of nairas and dollars for Owando, for which humongous sums in its interest were accrued, with further threats on its assets. The statement read in part, "We are here today to address a pressing issue that has been affecting our company's reputation and financial stability. Quite unfortunately, we have been facing challenges in receiving payments from our clients, Owando plc, for projects and contracts that has been completed to their satisfaction. Despite our best efforts to deliver high-quality works and meet our obligations, we have been met with delays in payments and outright refusal to pay. This has resulted in significant financial strain on our company. We secure proper facilities from our bankers to execute these jobs, running into millions of naira and dollars for Owando, for which we are paying numerous sums in interest with further threats on our assets. Owando plc has failed to meet its payment obligations despite our repeated requests and efforts to negotiate. The firm therefore urges Owando's leadership to demonstrate the corporate responsibility and integrity expected of a leading player in Nigeria's energy industry." However, IRAD reassured its stakeholders, including their employers, bankers, suppliers, and partners, that we are taking all necessary steps to resolve the situation and recover the payments that are rightfully due to us. We are also reviewing our contracts and agreements to ensure that we are better protected in the future, IRAD stated. The company also reassured Owando that it remains committed to dialogue and partnership, but insists that fairness and prompt action must now replace endless assurances. Lastly, on business, the federal government has reported that it spent a total of 12.36 trillion naira to service debts in 2024. This figure is 52.71% above the 8.27 trillion naira budgeted for the period and 35.26% of the total 2024 budget of 35.55 trillion naira. This is contained in the fourth quarter of 2024 budget implementation report released by the Budget Office of the Federation. The report shows a fiscal deficit of 13.51 trillion in the 2025 fiscal year, which represents 4.34 trillion naira above the projected budget deficit estimate for the year. It recorded in the corresponding period of 2023. The deficit, according to the report, was financed through multilateral and bilateral project-tied loans of 1.98 trillion naira, domestic borrowing of 6.6 trillion naira, foreign borrowing of 3.37 trillion naira, and budget support of 3.19 trillion naira. The report also shows that the country has a total public debt to GDP ratio of 61.22% as at the end of December 2024. This is above the country's threshold of 40% and the international threshold of 56% of comparator countries. According to the report, total revenue inflow of the federal government stood at 20.98 trillion naira at the end of December 2024. This represents an 8.50 trillion naira increase in compared to the 12.48 trillion naira reported at the end of 2023, but 4.83 trillion naira lower than the 2024 annual budget estimate. This is all for our business desk. Let's take a look at our weather report. Today we'll bring you weather reports from Asaba, Warri, and Abuja. In Asaba this morning, the weather is some sun with thunderstorm in a couple of spots with a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, wind feels 39 degrees Celsius, wind feels shade at 34 degrees Celsius, wind southwest at 7 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 24 kilometers per hour, humidity 84%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 55%, precipitation 7.4 millimeters, rain 7.4 millimeters, cloud cover 60%, visibility 4 kilometers. And in the afternoon in Asaba, the weather will be an overcast with a temperature of 31 degrees Celsius, wind feels 40 degrees Celsius, wind feels shade 35 degrees Celsius, wind west at 9 kilometers per hour, wind gust 26 kilometers per hour, humidity 75%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 25%, cloud cover 84%, visibility 5 kilometers. And in the evening in Asaba, the weather will be mostly cloudy with a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, wind feels 28 degrees Celsius, wind south-southwest at 7 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 19 kilometers per hour, humidity 93%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 25%, cloud cover 77%, visibility is 5 kilometers. And in Warri this morning, the weather will be a period of sunshine with 30 degrees Celsius, wind feels 39 degrees Celsius, wind speed shade at 35 degrees Celsius, wind south-southwest at 7 kilometers per hour, humidity 80%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 25%, cloud cover 66%, visibility 5 kilometers. And in the afternoon in Warri, the weather will be an overcast with a little rain with a temperature of 29 degrees Celsius, wind feels 34 degrees Celsius, wind speed shade 33 degrees Celsius, wind west-southwest at 11 kilometers per hour, wind gust 30 kilometers per hour, humidity 80%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 75%, rain 6.0 millimeters, cloud cover 90%, visibility at 4 kilometers. And in the evening in Warri, the weather will be partially cloudy with a temperature of 25 the temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, breeze speed 29 degrees Celsius, wind southwest at 7 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 15 kilometers per hour, humidity 93%, dew point 24 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 25%, cloud cover 82%, visibility 5 kilometers. In the morning in Abuja, the weather will be spells of sunshine with a temperature of 28 degrees Celsius, breeze speed 36 degrees Celsius, breeze speed shade 29 degrees Celsius, wind south-southwest at 6 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 19 kilometers per hour, humidity 69%, dew point 19 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 8%, cloud cover 13%, visibility 9 kilometers. And in the afternoon in Abuja, the weather will be a spells of sunshine with 30 degrees Celsius, breeze speed 36 degrees Celsius, breeze speed shade 30 degrees Celsius, wind southwest at 9 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 70 kilometers per hour, humidity 54%, dew point 90%, probability of precipitation 10%, cloud cover 20%, visibility 9 kilometers. And in the evening in Abuja, the weather will be partially cloudy with a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius, breeze speed 24 degrees Celsius, wind southwest at 6 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 17 kilometers per hour, humidity 80%, dew point 20 degrees Celsius, probability of precipitation 20%, cloud cover 74%, visibility at 9 kilometers. This is all for our news at SRTV. Thank you for staying with us. Join us tomorrow morning. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at SRTV for more news updates and our Facebook channel at SRTV for more news updates. Thank you.
Where every day feels like a vacation, your personal sanctuary, where life happens. Experience street comforts with SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Asaba. Welcome to SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. The upgrade you deserve, where life happens. Elevator every day with SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Asaba. The perfect blend of style and comfort, modern interiors, fully furnished unique apartments, ultimate comfort, 24/7 security. Your peace of mind is assured with our security, CCTV surveillance, high-speed Wi-Fi, fully equipped kitchen, smart TV, air conditioning, cars to take you around town, and lots more. And guess what? Are you a filmmaker? Are you in Asaba and its environs? Are you planning to shoot in Asaba? Come to SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment with your ideas and go home with a movie. We have the